Welcome back to Need to Know, where we dive deep into the science and artistry of baking. Today, we're unraveling a fascinating concept recipe balance and how it shapes the development of baked products. We'll explore how conventional thinking has influenced cake formulation and how modern innovations continue to refine our approach. If you've ever wondered why some cakes rise perfectly while others collapse, or why ingredient ratios matter so much, you're in the right place. So, let's get started. In baking, balance isn't just about taste, it's about structure, texture, and science. Back in the 1990s, a knowledge based computer program called Balance was developed as part of a cake expert system by researchers at the Campden and Chorleywood Food Research Association. This system was designed to establish technological rules that define different cake types and ingredient limits. The idea was simple but groundbreaking. Could a computer predict the perfect cake? Traditionally, bakers relied on empirical knowledge passed down through generations. The most common cakes studied were round sponge cakes, Madeira-type cakes, and loaf-shaped cakes. But as ingredient quality improved in the mid-20th century, particularly with the introduction of chlorine-treated flours, it became possible to create high-ratio cakes. These cakes have more sugar and liquid than flour, giving them a delicate texture and impressive volume. By contrast, low-ratio cakes, which have less sugar and liquid than flour, don't require treated flour and tend to be denser. To maintain consistency in baking, recipes are often expressed in terms of 100 parts of flour. This allows bakers to understand how ingredients interact. For example, in high-ratio cakes, sugar typically falls between 105 and 135 parts per 100 parts of flour. Too little sugar, and the cake won't rise well. Too much, and the structure may collapse. This is because sugar affects the temperature at which starch gelatinizes, which in turn influences the setting of the cake. One major challenge in modern baking is that chlorine treatment of flour is no longer permitted in many countries, including the UK. Instead, flour is now heat treated, which offers similar benefits without the bleaching effect. This shift required bakers to refine their methods and create new rules for recipe balance. Ingredient companies and baking scientists documented these changes, leading to the evolution of cake formulation principles. The Balance program was a game changer. It categorized cakes based on whether they were cakes or sponges, plain, whole egg, white, egg whites only, chocolate, with cocoa solids, or fruited, with fruit or particulates, baked in different shapes, loaf, slab, layer, cup, Swiss roll, sandwich, or drop cookies. By combining these factors, there were theoretically 56 different recipe combinations. But here's where things got interesting. Some traditional classifications had to be challenged. Could a sponge cake be made in a loaf shape? The answer was yes. By experimenting and tweaking ingredient ratios, new possibilities emerged. To refine the program, researchers conducted over 1,200 experiments, analyzing the impact of ingredient variations on cake quality. The results were documented with detailed photographic records, helping bakers visualize the effects of increasing or decreasing ingredients like sugar, eggs, or fat. This made product development faster, more precise, and less reliant on costly trial and error methods. The beauty of the balance system was that it didn't limit creativity, it empowered it. By understanding the science behind cake formulation, bakers could focus on innovation rather than rigid traditions. Whether designing new textures, flavors, or shapes, this system allowed for a structured yet flexible approach to baking. So the next time you're baking, remember, it's all about balance. Understanding ingredient interactions can transform your cakes from good to exceptional. If you enjoyed this deep dive into recipe balance, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Need to Know for more baking science and tips. Drop your questions in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, happy baking.